Thank you for joining us today for Cape Chronicle. I'm Mike Renick. We have some very special guests today. After the break, we have a mom on a mission to show young children how to love their community. We'll also talk with the Red Cross about the local blood shortage, and we will end our show today with Recover Out Loud. It's all ahead next on Cape Chronicle.
When times get dark, we can't see the help that's all around us. Let 211 be your guiding light for help with food, healthcare, and other resources.
211, how can I help you?
Call 211 or visit 211.org. 211, get connected, get help.
Welcome to Cape Chronicle. I'm Mike Renick. We're here with the mom behind Tiny Hands Mighty Works, Brittany McGuire, and her children. Hi, Brittany.
Oh, hi.
How you doing?
Doing great.
So I'm well. Who do we have with you today?
This is my son, Cooper. He's 5.
Hi, Cooper.
And my daughter, Reagan. She's 2.
She's 2. So you have your hands full all the time, don't you?
A lot of help around the house, yes.
So Tiny Hands Mighty Works, local moms and kids
Yes.
wanting to be better humans.
Mm-hmm.
Explain kind of how this started and what the idea behind it was.
I've always liked helping out in the community, but then after you have kids and you're adulting, there's just not a lot of time to do such things.
Sure.
Or finding a charity that will let you bring chaos into their into their party. So I just started making it up as I went along, as we went. I have a group of moms that help me out. We decided that picking up trash would be something we could do easily and on our own, and they love that. But then as winter kind of came last year, we didn't want to quit, but it was also chilly outside, so we decided to help the community in other ways, indoor ways. So we kind of asked different places around town if we could help out. So we made Christmas cards, Easter cards for nursing home residents, things like that.
So is this a new endeavor? Has it been going on for a little while? Or?
It's only been about a year.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how many other moms are involved?
It kind of varies from each one.
Okay.
The Facebook group is fairly big, and then you just come and go as you can. Mm-hmm. I have a group of 3 or 4 that always come, and then the other ones kind of come in and out as they're free.
So among that group then, like how many kids are part of it?
Probably like 10 or more.
Really?
It can get wild and loud.
And age ranges?
2 to 6, 7.
Okay.
They're all real little.
When you're thinking about ideas, do you ever get ideas from them? Will they say, hey, we want to do this or we want to do that, or do you kind of plan it with the moms and then bring
Last
the kids
year
along?
it was planned with the moms, but this year even he, asked if we're gonna make cards again or if we're gonna go pick up trash soon.
Now I think I saw you've made signs and snacks for some of the trash pickup workers, right?
That was a lot of fun.
That sounds like that'd be pretty fun.
It was amazing. They pulled up to our driveway and it was all sitting out, and they just like stopped, like they couldn't believe it, and they started jumping up and down, whooping and hollering. It was hilarious. We'll do that again this year, I think.
That'll be on
it was
the
awesome.
list.
It'll be on the list of things to do.
You mentioned cards for nursing homes. Did you get to deliver those? I guess maybe not in person.
I know with COVID they wouldn't let us in, but maybe this year if restrictions are lifted, we would love to go in and hand deliver them. But we'll have to see.
Yeah. How often do you try to do something?
At least once a month or more if I have the time, but definitely once a month we try to get together and do something to give back and spread a little love.
And I know you said park cleanup, and are there any other ideas that you're kind of batting around right now that you'd like to see done? You just haven't been able to do it yet?
Not yet. We're still brainstorming. I want to repeat a few things we did last year. I know we sponsored a family last Christmas, so they'd have gifts to open on Christmas morning. and we'll probably do that again. That's coming up. We like to give lunches to the homeless. There's a church downtown that has like the red lunchbox that to fill up. A lot of repeats, but they're easy and the kids like to do it.
So what area are you servicing or are you focused on?
Right now it's focused just on Kate and Jackson, just because it's local, easy to get to.
Okay.
But if anyone reached out to me in the surrounding area, I would be more than happy to travel a little further.
Okay. Cooper, how you doing? Are you good? Do you have a favorite activity that you've done?
Which one was your favorite? Do you like picking up trash or making cards?
That happens to me at home too.
I know.
You know, I go talk to my kids and they ignore me and they duck away, so used to it. Okay, so if someone says, hey, I want to be a part of this, I guess you're open to anybody to join in?
Yes, anyone can join. If you have tiny children, that is more the merrier. But if you don't have kids and you want to come hang out and watch them act crazy, then you're more than welcome to.
And what's the best way to find out what's coming up next?
The best way is the Facebook page. Tiny Hands Mighty Works. It's a public group.
Okay.
You can join anytime, add you in, and that's where you'll see all the events coming up that we have planned.
Okay. What do you hope that the kids take from this?
I hope that they just learn that, giving and giving back brings a lot of joy to yourself, and that you should spread love and cheer.
Yeah.
And
well, they look like they're
good
pretty
at
happy. Cooper and Reagan, thank you. Still won't give me 5, will you?
Can you give him a high five?
All right, well, Brittany, thank you so much.
Well, thank you.
Been talking again with Tiny Hands Mighty Works, their crew here with us. After the break, the American Red Cross is here to tell us how we can help fill a critical local health need. That's next on Cape Chronicle.
You're not going to get it all right. Just make sure you nail the big stuff.
Mama!
Like making sure your kids are in the right seat for their age and size. Get it right at nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat.
There are everyday actions to help prevent the spread of respiratory diseases. Wash your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Stay home when you are sick. Cover your cough or sneeze. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects with household cleaning spray. For more information, visit cdc.gov/COVID-19. This message brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
We are very pleased that Southeast has received statewide mission designation for the arts. It recognizes us as leaders in the visual and performing arts and confirms the quality of our programs. We are Missouri's only campus dedicated to the arts, being art, dance, music, and theater. And we are nationally accredited in all 4 areas of the art. This year, we were named a Yamaha Institution of Excellence, and theater was named a top musical theater program in the country. We've seen the number of majors increase greatly, and we're recruiting nationally. We consider it critical for our programs that we demonstrate to students how to get careers in the arts. We have students who've been stage managers, they've opened their own dance studios, they're doing film work, just all types of careers. We never rest. We keep going, and there'll be something new tomorrow.
Welcome back to Cape Chronicle. I'm Mike Renick. We're back with Michelle Johnson of the American Red Cross. Michelle, how you doing?
Good, how are you, Mike?
I'm well, it's good to see you again.
Yes, always a good time talking to you.
You know what? You guys are always in season. There's always something to be talking with you about. And I know right now there's an emergency appeal for blood. And that's why you're here today, as to get the word out about that you need those blood donations.
Yes, it's been especially bad this year. When I first started working for the Red Cross 10 years ago, we were at 8% of the population that donated. We are now down to less than 3% of the population that donate. And the average donor only donates 1.5 times a year. We just really never have enough blood on hand. There's just no getting around it. And with COVID, it's been especially bad.
Have you seen, or what are some of the contributing factors to the donations being down?
I think there's several reasons. Like larger companies may not want somebody to come in and do a blood drive because of COVID,
Okay.
So they've been canceling. And we actually collect 20% of our blood from high schools and colleges, and so there have been some high schools that have not wanted anybody outside to come onto campus, which again is understandable.
Sure.
But we still do need that blood, so we've been trying to find ways to make that up.
So what are some of those ways, if someone's watching and saying, I can go and do this, what's the best way to get it done?
It really surprises me that so few people have actually donated blood. Again, we're less than 3% of the population that donate, and 97% of us at some point in our lives are going to need blood or blood products.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's a fear around it. People don't know what to expect. So they think that somebody else will go do it. It'll be there when I need it, somebody else will do it, but that's really not happening right now. Usually in October, our blood supplies are doing pretty well because of the schools, but this year it's not. We have less than half a day on the shelves of type O blood, O positive and O negative, and we have an emergency need for all types, but especially O positive and O negative. I just think people don't understand the needle part. 5 to 10 minutes. 5 to 10 minutes and
I was
you're
going to ask
done.
you to kind of explain the process a little bit.
Yeah, sure. It's really easy. You can sign up for a blood drive.
Okay.
You can call 1-800-RED-CROSS, or you can go to redcrossblood.org, find a date, find a time that works for you, and then really prepare. You want to eat really good. It's not one of those fasting lab kind of things, because that's bad.
Sure.
You want to eat really good before you go donate. You want to drink lots of water. 64 ounces the day before and the day of, and that makes the whole process much easier on you and the staff. When you get there, we will have you read some materials, and then we'll give you a mini physical and ask you some questions, make sure that you're eligible to donate. We'll take your temperature, your blood pressure, and the worst part about donating is they test your iron, so they stick your finger. That's the worst. It's a little prick, but it's quick. So once that's done and you've passed, we'll take you, prepare your bags and your arm, and then we'll take your blood. And that part is 5 to 10 minutes.
Really?
Yes, 5 to 10 minutes.
That's fast.
That is fast. And you can save up to 3 people's lives with just that portion, 5 to 10 minutes. And then the best part of donating blood, we'll take you over and we'll feed you cookies and juice and snacks and water.
See, there's always a payoff.
There is.
Well, you mentioned it's saving lives, and that's exactly what it's doing, and it's an easy way to be able to do that.
It really is. We have an American Red Cross blood donor app, and if you download that and schedule through the app, I'm a techie. I like stuff like that. You can actually scroll down and it'll say blood journey, and you can see where your blood's at once you've donated. Is it in testing? Is it transporting? And then they'll tell you the hospital that it ends up at.
No kidding.
I love tracking that. My blood's been to 2 Veterans Hospital and a Children's Hospital.
Wow.
I mean, when you think about that impact, you have actually saved somebody's child, or you've saved a veteran's life. I mean, it's real.
So sometimes people may think, I don't have the time for it, I got a busy schedule, but you can schedule an appointment and be in and at that appointment time and be out, and it's pretty quick.
Typically 45 minutes to an hour. And we also have something called Rapid Pass. So the day of the blood drive, you can go to redcrossblood.org and it'll say Rapid Pass, and you just click on that and you answer all the health history questions before you get to the blood drive. And then that will save you like 15 minutes at the blood drive. So we can get you in and out much more quickly.
You mentioned the shortage, and I know we're kind of backtracking here a little bit. Summer seems to be a time when there's a high need, and travel was up a lot more this year than maybe in 2020.
Yes.
So you're really kind of hitting, coming out of summer and schools not letting, others on campus per se to do blood drives. So I can really see where it's kind of a collision course of both things happening, and
Yes.
and then, as you say, that blood's not there to save someone's life.
Exactly. We're doing a blood drive on CMOS campus for a young gentleman from Jackson who was in a car accident, and it took almost 50 units of blood to save his life. That's 50 donors. And when you have, half a day's supply of O negative, which is usually when somebody's in an accident, that's what they're going to need. And O negative people are 7% of the population. Because O negative can be given to anybody. So if you don't know your blood type and you're in an emergency setting, they're going to give you O negative.
Okay.
And that's why we always need O negative.
So what are the stipulations to give blood? I know there's some age and maybe health history, and you can only give so often.
Yes. You have to be 16 years old with a parent's consent form, and you can find that on the Red Cross page. 17 you can donate without, but you do need a photo ID with your birth date, so like a driver's license, unless you've donated before, and then a donor card works.
Okay.
You have to be healthy. If you've gotten the COVID vaccine, you can donate. Johnson & Johnson, I think there's a wait. Moderna and Pfizer, so long as you feel good, you're fine.
Okay.
The flu shot, you can donate after that. If you're taking medicines that you're not sure about if you can donate, those are listed on the website, along with you can call 1-800-RED Cross to find out.
I know just because I'm at River Radio, and we have the River Radio Blood Drive coming up on December the 17th.
Yes.
Which we obviously hope to have a great turnout for. If there's not a blood drive that someone maybe can identify to go to, can they come by somewhere just to give blood on a regular basis?
You can stop by the Mount Auburn office to donate blood, but typically there, because we take platelets there at the office, you would need to have an appointment there.
Okay.
You can always drop in at a blood drive
Okay.
if you find one. We're happy to take you. You may have a longer wait if you don't have an appointment.
Okay, and again, the best way to find out information, redcrossblood.org.
Yes.
Any other social media sites we need to talk about or hit?
No, that's the main one.
Okay, all right, all the information there.
Yes.
Well, we really appreciate you being here. I know you're so passionate about this,
Yes.
and as you were kind of talking about, how easy it is, it'd be a great thing for families to go and do together, especially with the holidays on the way. Just a great way to give back and save lives.
We do see that. It's amazing to see whole families come in. And we are doing a blood drive the day after Thanksgiving at the mall.
Okay.
And so if you're out shopping about and you want to come in, bring your whole family.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much, Michelle.
Thank you, Mike.
Been
Appreciate
talking
you.
with Michelle Johnson of the American Red Cross. Remember, redcrossblood.org. Sign up to give blood today. Thank you again, Michelle. When we're back, we will hear from Christy Booth. She'll be in studio to tell us why it is so important to recover out loud. That's next on Cape Chronicle.
Prescription drug pricing points to corporate
Freedom of the press is about your right to know.
and Clark sheer athleticism.
It's about your right to be informed.
For the stock market.
Today, there are real threats to press freedom
Reaching residential areas.
and your right to know about the world around us. We must protect our right to know, no matter what kind of news is important to you.
Great question.
Before it's too late, understand the threats. ProtectPressFreedom.org.
My mother was always very familiar with her neighborhood, but one day she stopped at the stop sign for much longer than usual. And she didn't know whether she should go forward or turn, and she wasn't even really sure where she was at. It was very unsettling for her.
I felt so much better after my son told me, "Mom, I don't want you to worry or be afraid. I'll be there for you and we'll figure it out."
This is not your mom's Southeast Missouri State University. Today, you'll do the work before you get the job. And when your tenacity is tested, your strengths are stretched, and your confidence secured, we'll help you find the place where you'll be extraordinary. At Southeast Missouri State, We're proud of where we've been, but we're focused on where we're going. And right now, we have opportunities you didn't even know existed.
Welcome back to Cape Chronicle. I'm Mike Renick. There's a stigma around substance abuse that can make it hard for people to seek the help they need. We have Christy Booth from Recover Out Loud here to tell us more. Christy, hello.
Hi.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
It's very good to see you. Substance abuse. What is substance abuse?
Well, it's when you're using a substance to the point that it's causing issues in your life, your health, in the community. So that, whenever I think of substance abuse, that's what I would think of.
And I know that as part of Recover Out Loud, and it's a passion for you.
Yes.
Because you've been on a journey of recovery yourself.
Yes.
Do you mind sharing some of that story with us?
Sure. So I'm a person in long-term recovery. And what that means for me is that I have not used substances chaotically since 2013. And I say chaotically because I am also a person with a chronically disabling, painful disorder, rheumatoid arthritis, and I've had it most of my life. So taking pain medication is something that I have to do periodically just to function.
Okay.
So whenever I got into recovery, there was only abstinence-based recovery, which is, you quit doing everything and you go to 12-step meetings, and it created a lot of issues for me just trying to figure out what recovery looks like to me. So I am proud to say that today I can take the medication that I need without abusing it or having issues with it. And that's just my personal recovery journey. Everybody has their own specific recovery journey, and it includes reoccurrences or relapses of the substance use disorder. It can look as individual as the person.
Well, congratulations on where you are at in your journey, and that journey, I guess, continues on forever.
Yes, absolutely.
So what is Recover Out Loud? What does that mean?
Okay, so Recover Out Loud Harm Reduction and Recovery Services is a new organization, and we do harm reduction and recovery services because we are trying to bridge the gap between people who are using substances and people who want to stop. So if a person is still using substances chaotically, they have no recourse. Like if they want to get help, they can't get the services they need unless they agree to stop using, and it creates a disconnect.
Okay.
So we can't help people who are actively using until they're ready to stop.
Sure.
And so that's why we focus on harm reduction. And harm reduction is basically just helping people learn how to live healthy without asking them to stop using. And it's a very touchy subject, but it's a subject that needs to be talked about, and these people do need services. The recovery side of it is what we're doing with this recovery walk, the 5th annual Addictions Recovery Walk. We want to break the stigma, period, of people in recovery, people who are still actively using, because they're just people. And we need to hear them. So the recovery walk is a way for people to come out and celebrate their accomplishments, where they've come from, and be proud, and not be afraid to say, yes, that's how I lived once. This is not how I live today, and I'm proud of who I am today.
You mentioned the word stigma. What are some of those stigmas that maybe stop people from doing just what you said, to be able to come out and be proud of how they're living today?
Oh, sure. So, I mean, we live and we have a lot of rural areas. And I've found, particularly in rural areas, people get a reputation.
Sure.
And if they're afraid to go in and ask for help because somebody might see them. And and once you get pegged with that reputation, it's really hard to crawl out from under. And that's why the recovery walk is so important, because it allows people on the outside to see that people can change and live a better life. I'm living proof. When I was in my addiction, I broke laws and I did things that, I'm not proud of, but I know that I don't have to live that way today and that I can change. And I want other people to know that too, that just because you've made poor mistakes in the past, that doesn't make you the person. You can change who you are.
So how can people get help? What is the first step for them?
Well,
or is it different for everybody?
It's totally different for everybody. We run a Harm Reduction Works meeting, which is a mutual support meeting that doesn't require anything of anybody to walk in and sit down. And it opens up space for them to talk about their drug use. And it allows them to become conscious and aware of how it's affecting their lives. So that's one way. Of course, we have 2 treatment centers within our city limits,
Sure.
Gibson and Family Counseling Center. So those are always great resources. Community Counseling Center, great resource. And we hope to build into a place that will offer more services also.
Well, we really appreciate you being here today. We are running out of time. We could talk for much longer about this, but
sure.
Again, Christy Booth, Recover Out Loud, and thank you for sharing your journey with us. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Mike.
That's all the time we have for today. Thank you to all of our guests, and thank you for joining us for Cape Chronicle. The program is a collaboration with the Department of Mass Media of Southeast Missouri State University, the City of Cape Girardeau, and River Radio. Our executive producer is Dr. Jim Dufek with producer Nicolette Brennan. I'm your host, Mike Renick, and thank you for watching.